I saw this with Daniel. There were several jump scares.
I counted 5. I counted 5
I would
jump
watch
scares.
it again to watch it with
He kept
Daniel.
being like, God damn it! So he was so upset they couldn't.
I hate a jump scare. I hate it. I don't know. I'm not usually a fan of horror movies, but I don't know why. But I really fuck with this one.
I think it's because you don't give them a chance. No, this is your taste. You're gonna taste it.
Was it a
Like,
horror
ooh.
movie?
Well, actually, that's a good point.
Yeah.
I don't think it actually was.
I like my monster movies campy.
Well, this was like Aliens to Alien.
Yeah.
You know, it's much more action. More
It-
teeth.
That's generous.
What is it? The monsters. What are we called?
Yeah, come on.
I don't know if the monsters. Well, they're aliens,
Yeah.
but I don't know if they have a technical name.
They just look like
But if you call them aliens, I'm thinking xenomorphs. Anyway, go on.
Yeah.
they just look like thicker versions of Slender
Ooh,
Man.
thick.
Yeah.
Ooh, thick
Like a
Slender Man.
Thick
I like
Slender
that.
Man.
They're like clickers.
Slender Man.
Also, in the first film, they like I can't remember exactly, but for a long time they don't show you the creatures, and that works quite well.
Yeah.
I think that's a big part. And also, there's sequences in the first film, like you were just saying off camera, about when she has to give birth, or Emily Blunt, she steps on the nail.
Yeah,
There's all
great
these
scenes.
scenes, and now they have a baby. You could totally go back into that and make all these really tense Hitchcockian situations, and they didn't do that really.
Dare I say they had one tense moment this whole movie was
What was
when
that?
he stands on the bear trap.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
like, oh shit.
Yeah.
Oh, when the bear trap happened, I honestly thought my first thought was Emily Blunt is gonna have to kill one of them. She's gonna have to like leave her son. She's like, stop yelling. I was like, this is gonna go crazy. I was like, Jesus.
I know
It's
that,
gone hard.
that was a huge disappointment for me. So
Yeah.
Emily Blunt was sold like I feel like she was gonna do like a Ripley and be like a badass.
She's
bitch,
on all the posters.
you know, and it's like she did like nothing.
Yeah.
And it was so frustrating because you see her at the start with the shotgun, and I was like, I'm excited.
She's just
Missed
trying to
opportunity.
survive, man. She's just trying to survive.
No, but it's.
I get this.
What did you like about it, Daniel? I'm curious.
I don't know. I feel like the story was good enough. I mean, it kept me engaged, and I was like, "Oh shit, what's happening next?"
Also, your horror meter is probably more sensitive.
Yeah.
Yeah. But there were several. I saw this with Daniel. There were several jump scares. That got you.
I counted 5. I counted 5
I would
jump
watch
scares.
it
And every
again
time
to watch it with
he kept
Daniel.
being like, God damn it! So he was so upset they couldn't.
I hate a jump scare. I hate it. And, you know that little clicky game that you played as a kid where there was a fucking face that comes up?
Yeah.
I did that.
Maze game.
Yeah, represent. I did that once, and like the fucking picture came up, and I just walked in doing it. Someone else was playing it. I was like, nope, that's it. I'm out. I saw it for 1 millisecond, and I fucked off right out of it.
That's modern horror for you.
That's the most I will ever get to a jump scare. And with this, there was 5 of them, and every time you were right, I was like, fuck you, movie.
He was so
I don't like a jump
upset.
scare. But in saying that, it was fun.
Yeah, and a big part of seeing this in the cinemas for me, I was like, well, the sound design will be amazing. And yeah, it really let me down.
The other survivors that they interact with on the dock, I thought that there'd be a lot more character to them, or that there'd be better set design to them or their costumes, and it just felt like that was a missed opportunity, as well as the island that they go to. You know, I thought that there might be precautions that they brought up or defenses or something, but it just felt like a very standard set, some houses and...
Yeah, they venture out onto what seems like it's going to be this big journey, but it's like 4 scenes.
Yeah. But I thought, you know, all of it was relatively tense and, you know, I wouldn't say frightening, but just like, oh shit.
Look, I get what you're saying to me. It had all the right elements, and it never just crossed that finish line to make it, I won't say acceptable, but to make it worth your while.
Yeah.
Okay.
It felt just a bit short to me.
One pro I can give it, and I guess it goes for both movies, is that seeing it at the cinema is actually quite an experience, because there's all these scenes where you've got to be really quiet, and listening to a cinema full of people try to be quiet is amazing.
Oh, dude, yeah.
It's such a fun experience. It's like you hear people on popcorn. At one point, it was a really tense scene. Everyone was quiet, and this dude just farted. and we all lost it. I'd love to hear people's experiences, like watching.
Tell us about this fart.
There was a guy.
Go on.
There was a guy on behind us who just let out a really big.
It's an interesting experiment, just like trying to get a cinema to be quiet for these movies.
If we were in high school, there is every guarantee that I would have done something like that.
Yeah.
And everyone would be like, shut the fuck up.
Like someone's just like, yawn!
You know, I will say, I don't know if you guys thought it was a bit stupid, but when they brought in the whole, they can't swim. And then one's like in the bottom of the boat.
How did he get in the boat?
It's ridiculous.
How did they not notice that it was in the boat?
And everybody's being loud, having a party on the beach.
I honestly thought that was terrifying though when he was like swimming and then the monster sees him, jumps in the water.
Great, and it's just like.
We're also talking about the obvious naming convention. They should have called it A Quieter Place.
Oh, yeah, missed opportunity.
Place of quiet.
The quietest place.
It's a positive, but it's not, because I was hoping this movie would end. I was like, gee, this will go. And then it ended, and I was like, huzzah!
10 out of 10.
Yeah, exactly. I was like, this film knows where to end.
Yeah, it did know where to end.
And there's something to say about that.
Yeah.
I was in saying that, I feel like at the ending they could have sort of ramped everything up to 10, like in Zombieland. You know when all the zombies are just coming towards that.
The tunnel?
Yeah, the tunnel. I feel like they should have done something similar
Like
to that.
The Simpsons with Whacking Day, when they put the speakers on the ground.
Yeah, that would have been fun.
Yeah, totally.
It seemed like it was between the two modes. Like it didn't maybe have the budget enough to be a big action film.
And when it ends, it
wasn't
ends. It just ends.
small enough
Yeah.
to be a horror film.
Yeah, yeah.
What about that guy that like drove them to the satellite and then he was just
Oh.
like, "Oh, my son, I have to go back," and he just stands there awkwardly waiting to die
Yeah.
for like 30 seconds, and it's like, dude, you can tell that there's an opening. The monster's gonna get you, and he just stands there like waiting for his cue. And then, what was
I
that?
have no idea. It reminded me a bit of The Mist.
Yeah,
That gate scene.
I'd much rather have watched The Mist.
Yeah, let's do it.
I guess
I put on I thought I was watching The Mist the other night, and I was like, hold on a minute, this is The Fog. I was like, oh, this is great, Stephen King movie.
what I was trying to do throughout this entire movie is predict the jump scares.
Yeah, sometimes for me with jump scares, I'll be like, I know it's coming, so I'm like looking at corners, like trying not to look.
You know, in the opening 10 minutes when John Krasinski steps out into the street and that truck honks at him,
Mm-hmm.
that's the best jump scare in this whole film. I was like, oh shit! I'm in for a ride.
That was the jump scares.
The opening 10
That
minutes.
shouldn't be a jump scare.
And then you're tense for the rest of it.
Yeah.
That opening 10 minutes had me really optimistic. I was like, oh
Yeah.
shit, I might be wrong.
Yeah, same here.
Yeah, I bet no. I was
And
right.
there was a cool shot too, where like the car was driving down the street, and you could see like carnage happening and stuff.
Yeah, no, I liked all of
Yeah.
that.
Would you like it?
Everything Bird Box wanted to be.
I don't know if it's been said because I don't know how many positives we actually have. So I'm just gonna say I did enjoy all of the acting. I didn't think anybody was bad in this. I thought everybody was quite
yeah.
good.
What's the,
Underutilized, but not
Yeah.
bad.
what's the
I
deaf
agree.
kid's name?
Sorry,
What's the deaf kid's name?
Reagan.
Ellie.
Reagan. Reagan.
Uh,
Millicent
DD.
Simmons.
Yeah.
Millicent Simmons.
I thought she did a fantastic job in this movie.
Yeah. I thought she did
She
well.
was very, very believable and engaging.
Yeah.
because of this.
So was this like a roller coaster of jump scares for you?
No, there was only 5. So
Oh, okay.
You were counting.
I was counting.
Oh my lord.
Is it like a 90-minute roller coaster with like 5 dips?
Yeah. Some of the roller coasters. Actually, no. 90% of it is just all upwards.
And yet you can't talk.
Yeah, and then just what?
I actually do have a major point that it's like my main point about the film. Is that what I found to be the case in this film is as a result of the whispering situation, every performance in this film kind of felt super low energy, And that didn't have to be the case. Like, I really liked in the first film there was a lot more subtitled sign language, but obviously they made it so Cillian Murphy, you know, he doesn't know that, so they have to talk. But everything was kind of just down here, emotionally, and I was just bored to tears through all of the dialogue scenes that weren't them in danger or having to be quiet for a reason. When they were down in the bunker area, I was like, dude, fucking shoot me now. This is
because it doesn't characterize them much.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. Emily Blunt's face, like, all these, like, fucking...
Yeah, but that's because she's a great actor. But
I love that.
Like, if she was given more, she would have given us more.
Yeah, I agree.
But I thought the whole people as cult or zombies or whatever they were was so underdeveloped and didn't really make any sense.
Those boat people.
Yeah.
I thought they were pirates.
But that also got set up before because he sees one of the bodies on the hospital bed, and it like suggested that like Cillian might have been like a pedophile or something.
Yeah.
And it was like none of that went anywhere.
Yeah, I thought that it was gonna, like, we talked about this.
Oh,
be like
shit, that would have been crazy if he was a pedophile. Oh my god.
She's on the island, no one else is there.
The people that are left, they're not the kind of people worth saving.
Yeah, so normally I'm a little lenient with horror films. So although I did enjoy the acting, I found that the pacing was a little bit rushed. I wasn't a big fan of the characters, or I don't think they had much of an arc really. And I didn't really get the same feeling of this is amazing sound design. So with all that in mind, I think I'm going to give this a 4. I had high hopes. I definitely had high hopes going in. I agree with you. I wish John Krasinski was in this because he was great. Oh, I agree with everyone. I think everyone said that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so 4.
John Krasinski is to this franchise what Patrick Wilson is to The Conjuring.
I can agree.
And they made a mistake.
What, now Reagan's Vera?
President.
Reagan.
Jesus fuck Reagan!
I thought that A Quiet Place 2 was really boring.
The most exciting part was the part.
Yeah, no, I thought it was really boring. There was some fun to be had in like seeing it at the cinema, and I had more enjoyment from that than the film itself. I thought it was really bland and kind of strung together with no story and very little plot. If it was a novel, it'd be like 2 chapters of a novel. I quite liked the first movie. I think it's much better, and I don't think it needed this sequel. And I would have forgiven the John Krasinski if maybe Emily Blunt got more to do, because I was excited for that, or if they made Cillian Murphy more of a threat or something, could have been cool. But anyway, as it stands, I'm going to give it a 3 out of 10.
I would disagree with both of you guys. I think, I mean, my sort of third venture into the horror genre, I thought this was relatively captivating. I thought, while, yeah, you're right, Emily Blunt didn't have a whole lot to do, I did feel like she sort of did put her all into this movie. But I really did like this movie. I don't know what it is. I did think the story was great, and I did think everything was paced relatively well. And I think the monsters not being able to swim, I think that's sort of realistic. Like, we as humans weren't exactly, born to swim. So these, like, far out alien people wouldn't have no idea of the concept of swimming. So I think that was a...
Plus they can't see.
Yeah, can't they? So, yeah, I mean, for what it's worth, I did enjoy this movie. I don't know why, but I did. And it's a horror movie, so I think it's just that much greater that I did enjoy it. So I'm going to give this a 7.
Nice.
It had a lot of the right elements, and I totally see what they were going for. I think this is John Krasinski's sophomore effort as a director. So I think, some of that can be put up to inexperience maybe, just with pacing and movement. But overall, I really had a tough time watching this movie. And if it wasn't, I think one thing that can be said about it is it doesn't overstay its welcome, which I think really, does it a lot of justice because it knows where to end. But, that being said, I thought this was, a bit of a snooze fest. And so for that, I'm going to have to go a really light 4.
Thank you guys so much for watching. Be sure to like, share, subscribe, all of that jazz. What do you think of this movie? We were eager to hear it. Please leave your interesting or creative responses in the comment section below, and be sure to subscribe to all of our social medias, our TikTok, our Facebook, our Instagram, Brody's Tinder page, and wait.
Why did I write Reagan up there if we're just gonna be DD?
DD.
What? Come on.
Yeah, and there's like that. There's like that shot.
Reagan. Reagan.
I thought it was
President Reagan.
Jesus fucks you.
I don't know.
That's so Reagan.
Maybe I did need a fourth coffee, actually.